So, namaste, everyone. My name is Jillian, and I would like to welcome you to this wonderful webinar that we have planned today. I am the executive assistant with International Hindu University, and here I support our leadership team and the global initiatives. In my role, I work very closely with the leadership and the faculty to help bring programs like today's webinar to life. And it is my privilege to open this important session and welcome all of you. So the first question that comes to everyone's mind is what or who is International Hindu University and what makes us so different or unique? So the International Hindu University USA operates as a not-for-profit post-secondary degree granting institution, and it is recognized by the Florida Department of Education and the Florida Commission for Independent Education. We, International Hindu University of USA, stand as a global institution which is dedicated to preserving and promoting the wisdom of Sanatana Dharma and the Vedic sciences while making them accessible and relevant for today's learners. Our programs range from certificate courses to diploma courses, as well as master's degrees and Ph.D., covering various topics and areas such as Hindu philosophy, Vedic sciences, divine music and divine dance, Ayurveda, natural health science, life skills development, yoga, Hindu philosophy, and various other courses. If you're interested, you can certainly go to our website at www.ihu-usa.org for more details about the courses where they are explained in very explicitly. Now, what makes IHU unique? Of course, it is the breadth of our programs, Sanatana Dharma, the wisdom of our Vedic Vedas, Upanishads, our religious texts, but it is also our distinguished faculty. They are renowned scholars, researchers, and practitioners from across the globe who bring both academic excellence and lived experience to their teaching. So that makes it really great. Before we begin, you will find a link in the chat section. So I'd request you to take a moment to fill it out with your name and email address. This will allow us to keep you updated on our upcoming events as well as our webinars. And if you'd like any notes or details of today's webinar, we'll be happy to share it with you as well. And now the most important person before we begin, I'd like to invite our speaker for today, Dr. R.N. Sreenathan. He is a
Okay. Jillian, thank you very much.
Distinguished academic in anatomical science. Welcome, and without much delay, I would ask you to please begin today's webinar.
Sisters and brothers of planet Earth. This appears very strange. The word sisters and brothers resounded like a bugle in 1893 when Swami Vivekananda spoke in Chicago. That was a momentous time for Hindu spirituality to dawn on the universal stage. It's now we have reached another realm, another level, where the renaissance of Hindu religion and Vedic science is so attuned to the modern science that modern scientists are coming forward to know how in those days, 5,000, 6,000 years back, they could know all these things, what we have discovered today and what we are experiencing today. This is a great leap, and it has come because of our internet and great surge in technical advances. And we have reached a stage today where we are able to understand the nuances of spirituality and move ahead, lighting the glory of Vedic philosophy in the stage arena of the world. Here, as I am speaking to you from a small place in Hyderabad, India, around the world, it's being communicated globally. And it is possible because of our advancement in technology. Simultaneously, you are able to listen to me around the world. And this is possible because of information that is conducted so fast through the new fiber optics that run deep in the sea, or satellites that reflect, and at a speed of about 200,000 kilometers per second, my voice is being circulated now around the world. But even then, there is some lag, a few seconds lag. The lag is about 200 to 300 milliseconds. But none of you are feeling this lag because our systems, our computer, our technology hides that truth. In the same way, our brain hides the truth of the world. What we see is not real indeed. For example, when I see something, it comes at a particular speed and reaches my brain. The same thing, when I listen to it, its speed is different. For example, when I see a cricket match, a ball is bowled at 140 kilometer speed, and then there is a speaker commenting, and there is a crowd yelling, all at the different speeds. But surprise, everything will reach me in one understanding or in one presence. That is the greatness of our brain. The brain waits for 300 milliseconds, gets in all the information, and then makes a decision about it. But it has already used certain time. You know what it does? It resets the time and tells you that it is exactly going on now. That is the deception. Our brain is a deceptive organ.
While you do
Highly
it, sounds pretty great, right?
specialized in this. And this organ is the one which converts the energy that is there in our universe into the world which I am going to talk today. As we see, for example, as I told you, the light, speed of the light is different, speed of the sound is different, speed of touch is different, speed of balance is different. Everything is analyzed in the brain, and finally a decision is made. That is why jocularly I tell sometimes, even I wrote an article some time back, you indeed always live in the past. You die before you actually appear to have died. We always live in the past, but it appears as though it is present. This is the deception. What is surprising is not the one what we have understood today. What is surprising is how did our Vedic science teachers knew this? They knew this and they called it Maya. It is a Maya means something you cannot understand, explain so easily. Now today, we are going to touch all about this and give you the backdrop of Hindu philosophy based on the Vedic science so that you will carry home the basic knowledge of what is Hinduism and you feel really sorry for not having understood that this far in your life. That is what is my aim today. Look at this. So now I will start. That is my subject today. I am going to talk on Karmayoga and neuroscience. How on earth these two are interconnected. You will soon come to know how Karmayoga and neuroscience are interrelated. And by the by, I would like to tell you, I have authored a book known as the Bhagavad Gita in the lens of neuroscience. It is with the publisher, and shortly it's going to be published. All of you should support in knowing, in reading that, and in understanding the science behind the Bhagavad Gita. My presentation begins with this slide. Don't think it's a blank slide. It's intentional. It is a slide which teaches us everything about Hindu trilogy, Hindu religion, Hindu spirituality. Everything is taught by this screen. It is just a screen. Is it screen? How do you say it is screen? Because your mind knows it is screen, you say. Say you don't know at all what is screen, then what do you call this? You don't know what to call this because you never knew its name is screen. Then you say there is light. How the light comes? You say it comes from the sun. When the light comes from the sun lights everything except one. Do you know what is that one which is not lighted by the sun? Swami Chinmaya used to jocularly tell a small story. A person went to sun, asked, "Are you married?" Son told, "No." "Why don't you get married? We have got a bride for you." "Oh, it's a good idea. I will definitely take it." "Where is she?" "Her name is Nisha." Nisha is Miss Universe. She is dark. She is called darkness. And she is there waiting for you. And now sun went on looking for Nisha, the darkness. You know, it's going around the world 24 hours. It is not able to get Nisha to marry. Why? It is that darkness that it can never illuminate. Here comes our spirituality. When sun cannot illuminate darkness, what illuminates darkness? That's a difficult question. A person enters a dark, pitch dark room. No, nobody is there. None of them is there. He cannot see his own body. If somebody cries, "Hey, who is there?" He says, I am there. He says, I. What is this I? From where did it come, this I? This I is the consciousness. This I is the one which keeps us living. This I is the witness. This I is witnessing now my talk. This I is working through our body. And this I, when it gets separated from the body dies. Is it original? Separation? There is no separation of original, my friends, because original is everywhere infinite. Then we should know something about consciousness seriously. Now look at this. This is where our spirituality begins. Here is a screen, and if you say there is something in the screen, you are wrong. If you say there is nothing on the screen, you are wrong too, because there is light on the screen. Can you separate the light from the screen? Can you ever separate the light from the screen? Impossible. But do you know one very important thing? Though you cannot separate the light from the screen, but in spite of that, intellectually you can separate. Intellectually, you can separate the light. For example, I will give you an example. Take, for example, you are looking at my hand. Why are you looking at my hand? Why do you see the hand? You are looking at hand simply because there is light reflecting. Because of the light reflecting, you are able to see my hand. Can you separate that light from the hand? Can you separate the left light from the hand? Okay, there is some, as we know, there are some problems, but even then, doesn't matter. Our internet continues, the light, sound is there, and we will continue like that. All right. Now, I was there. Yes. So, number one, how to separate light from the hand. You cannot physically separate. You have to separate it intellectually. When you separate it intellectually, the light becomes separate, hand is separate. Like that, we have to separate consciousness from the body, from the world, which we are going to deal as we proceed. Now look at this. And in the Nasadiya Sukta, there is one Sukta called Nasadiya Sukta in Rig Veda, and it says, this Nasadiya Sukta, then even nothingness was not, nor existence. There was no air then, nor the heavens beyond it. This is what it says. Nothingness was not. You don't say nothing. No. Then even nothingness was not. Not existence. This is the riddle. A riddle of consciousness. I will tell you why this riddle comes. Then there was neither death, nor immortality, nor was there then the torch of night and day. Some excerpts I am presenting to you. At first, there was only darkness, wrapped in darkness. Look at the words. Darkness wrapped in darkness. All this was only in unillumined water. Unillumined here means unreflected. The whole world is a reflected world. Original one does not show the world. The world is a reflected one. Therefore, the world only unillumined water. In the beginning, desire descended on it. That was the primal seed born of the mind. Primal seed is the desire. Even our life is based on our desire. Our life, everything is based on desire. It is the desire which begins the action. It is the simple desire that began. Sadeva Saumya idamagramasit ekam evam advitiyam. That was alone. There was no second there, says Shruti. This is what is told in Nasadaya Sutta. So I have introduced you to the beginning of the creation where there was something. How do you define it? But after all, who knows? How do you know? And who can say from where it has come? How creation happened? Because there is nobody to tell. How do you tell? Here comes. We have to use our intellect. It is possible only to the human being. Therefore, it was possible only for our seers to say, to think what it was. And then they started explaining this screen, what I showed you. This is subject. This is I. When you say I, subject, this is subject. That subject, that is subject. That is original consciousness. That is Chaitanya, what we call. And that is called Brahman. That is called Sachidananda. That is called Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. That is called Adharananda, Ananda Akhanda. Adhara Ananta Akhanda. Chaitanya. Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiya. There are so many names. Let them be. But no one fact. It is the subject. So what our Vedic science tells is, we are in search of the subject. There was an animal. The smell coming out of its umbilicus. But it thought the smell is coming from the forest. Went around the forest everywhere. But it never got it because it came from its very umbilicus. Like that, this subject, Nihitam Guhayam, it is inside our heart. As what? As space, as I, as consciousness, as Brahman, as Satchit. All our aim is to reach that state. When we have reached this state, do remember, when we have reached this state, when you have reached this state, we achieve something what we are born for. We are born to achieve this status of subject. Now, from here, our story of creation begins. How the creation comes. Now we know there is a subject. How do you understand the subject? For example, there is a microscope. They have found so much of microscopic objects, but they are all objects. Microscope may be there, but if seeing eye is not there, nothing is seen. If seeing eye is not there, nothing is seen in the microscope. If God particle is there, if you say that a God particle is ultimate, then there must be somebody who has observed the God particle, or who has found out mathematically God particle, or who has secondarily has found out God particle, but there must be a subject. Finally, it is this subject that is real. When we come this subject, what happens? Dreams. This subject dreams. A dream, it's very common. We are in deep sleep. When we are in deep sleep, we have dream. And this dream is when we are dreaming, our body is. And this drama is always a lower level of reality. And remember, it is a reflected level of consciousness, lower level of reality is this dream. Nothing happens to the subject. Nothing happens to the subject. Now, there was a dream. From the dream, a particular subject, an object began. So, this is the first object. You know the name of the first object that began? It is Ishvara. But it is an object. Whenever there is an object, it becomes a reflected consciousness. It's not original consciousness. Reflected consciousness is the object. Here is Ishvara. Ishvara is the lower level of reality. He knows everything about creation, omniscient. And along with that, there is Maya, infinite, eternal, potential energy. This Ishvara, reflected consciousness, of course, don't ask me whether original consciousness is there or not. It's there everywhere. It's infinite. There is no place where there is no original consciousness. It's a screen over which everything is displayed. Now, this Maya is the infinite potential energy plus Ishvara, which is the reflected consciousness. Both of them together, Maya and Ishvara, is called Ardhanarishvara. Ardha means half energy and half consciousness. What type of consciousness? Reflected consciousness, remember. So, always creation is the reflected consciousness. Creation is the object. Creation is a lower level of reality. And it has come from subject, the higher level of reality, alone which is real. That is the dream of the creation. Who is dreaming? The original consciousness is dreaming. So now with that, this is Ishvara Srishti. From this Ishvara, from this combination, energy becomes. First, don't think Ishvara has got some shape and all that kind of Ishvara we are talking. This Ishvara is like pure space, but space contains potential energy and space contains all the reflected consciousness responsible for a generation of its intelligence. And this, from here, there will be bubbles, a small bubbles of quantum vacuum fluctuations. And from there comes the atoms in the first protons, neutrons, quarks, electrons, everything will come, molecules. Then they grow, they become tissues, they become organs, human bodies, and further it goes on and on and on. And there will be huge outer space, Then there are many things like moon, stars, etc. Now comes the definition. When you can see right from one space to the space again, hues, and in between everything from atoms, molecules to tissues, everything in one go, at once, it is called Ishvara Srishti, which is impossible to see in the human body. That is why Arjuna deterred. Arjuna hesitated. Arjuna saw, how can I see? It is impossible for me. Arjuna got stunned at the beauty and at the greatness, at the expansive energy of this creation. And this creation is called Ishvara Srishti. Remember, Ishvara Srishti does not have name, does not have shape, and it does not have anything that is identifiable. It is just a constant flux of energy. The constant flux of energy is Ishvara Srishti. In this Ishvara Srishti, an animals are born. A human being is born. Depending on the body of the human, Ishvara Srishti partly is taken out or converted into a useful world, and that will become Jiva Srishti. For the Jiva Srishti, a human body is a must. For the human Jiva Srishti, human body is a must. And this human body, remember, this human body creates an illusory world which is good enough for it to maintain itself, to live, to secure itself, to propagate itself. And this Srishti, what it creates is Jiva Srishti. Now, when Jiva Srishti is created, within the Jiva Srishti, there is the body. In the body, there is brain. And in the brain, there are many neurons. Neurons have got, there are about 100 billion neurons, and then trillions of synapses are there. There are chemicals. All these form the brain architecture. And it is the brain's connections which create the world, create the emotion of the individual. So what we see as an emotion, what we see as a world, is an exclusive creation of a human being. It is not directly God's creation. Human being means human being is created by the force, but human being body further creates the world. It ekes out a small part of the world. And we are seeing only infinitesimally small part of expansive infinite energy. We are seeing a very small portion of it. And in that Jiva Srishti, we have emotion, we have attachment. It is all because of the brain. Our brain makes us to get attached. And our main aim of the life is to see that somehow body is sustained, secured, and it lives comfortably. That has become our aim. Now, as we proceed, look at that. Brain, and behind the brain, there is mind. In our mind, right from previous lives, because in Hindu and Vedic science, we believe in many lives. And whatever that was there in the previous lives also is recorded in the mind in the form of a vritti. It is something like a gramophone record. A gramophone record where we will see a small lines they create, they call it as vritti. And depending on vritti, our behaviors will be there. These vrittis dictate the connections of the brain, dictate the genes, and genes in turn will act through chemically formation of neurons and synaptic plasticity. Plasticity means continuously changing. It is something like flock of birds which are flying, constantly changing their pattern, like shoals of fish, something like that. Neurons are constantly changing in the brain. There is neuronal and synaptic plasticity. And this is a very important point because how we have designed this neuronal synaptic plasticity, our life depends on that. When we have designed it through mind, through genes, to take world as very real and life as very real, a body is very real, somehow body has to exist at any cost. And then in that scenario, remember, our connections become extremely strong, synaptic plasticity. And it is very, very difficult to come out of it. Now, how do you come out of these connections? The way of changing the connections of the brain is called Karmayoga. Unless you change the connections of the brain, which are already existing, it is impossible for you to change. How do we change this? How do we change? As long as you continue to live like you lived before, you live like that later also, and there will be no change, take it from me. How do you change? To change that, you have to use a method. Your body is your master. Take your body. In your body, your heart is there. Right on 22nd day when sighed the mother, it started beating. Till now, restlessly, it is working. Has it taken casual leave any time? I will take 1 day leave. Can it ask like that? Is there something like that? And does it know that it is working for Dr. Sreenathan in this body? Does it know that? It does not know. But it works for the body. How? Sincerely, devotedly, without expecting anything. It works for the body. Look at the beauty of our own organs. Look at the liver, how it works, how it is dedicated to the human body. Look at the other organs, every bit of it, every cell is dedicated to one thing, it is dedicated to its body. Very sincerely, our body, where organs are dedicated to the body, you know what is organ? Organs are following their dharma. They are following their dharma to the body. Without expecting anything, they are serving the body for serving purpose. That is dharma. And now, this body, where it is full of dharma, dharma kshetra it is. In that kshetra, which is full of dharma, what we are doing outside is full of adharma. How? Whenever we do outside, we take ourselves as an individual and world as separate and we interact with the world. And that is separate. Is that useful to me? Is that not useful to me? And this question goes on within us. So now the problem comes, how we should live then. Here comes the Karma Yoga. You take a jump into Ishvara Srishti. You are now in Jiva Srishti. From Jiva Srishti, you should imagine that you are in Ishvara Srishti and the whole universe is the body of the Lord. And you are one of the fine particle in the body of the Lord. Just as your heart worked for your body, working for your body, your liver, your spleen, everything working, you start working for the body of the Lord. When you start working for the body of the Lord, you know what happens? You start doing dharma. That is dharma. When you consider that you are in the body of the God, so you have made a giant leap outside your regular available connections, and you have jumped into another realm, that I am living in the body of the God. And when we do that, correspondingly, all connections start changing because it is neuronal plasticity. Once it starts changing, our very approach will change. Then there is frontal cortex here, prefrontal cortex, and that starts controlling. And that starts telling, when you have a car, you say, I should have a car, I have a car, I use it. No, I should have a car for show off. Others should think that I am a very rich person. And that is Jiva Srishti. When you use your car for just a travel, for your purpose, then without any show off, without any ego, that becomes you have moved towards Ishvara Srishti. It's in your hand. That is how you have to change your connections from Jiva Srishti to Ishvara Srishti. From in the Jiva Srishti, what has happened? We have created small gods. I have got the Venkateshwara, I have got Ganapati, I have got that Lord, I have got this Lord. We call this as Ekarupa Ishvara. Ekarupa Ishvara is not wrong. Take it from me. Nothing in the realm of Hindu scriptures is wrong. Everything is a process of syllabus. Earlier syllabus, once you pass, you have to graduate yourself to the higher level. That is the principle in Hindu religion. You should learn to graduate yourself. After fifth standard, you have to go to sixth standard. You can't say, I always get first rank in fifth standard, I stay here. Then you will stay there. You should keep moving. You should keep advancing. You should keep going ahead. That is a Hindu religion. In Hindu religion, nothing is stagnant. Everything should be moving. Towards what? Towards your goal. What is the goal? Don't forget again in the bargain. Already we talked long time back. It is subject. It's I. It's pure subject. When do you get the subject? When you drop the sound, voice, and mind, you are with it. Why? The mind creates the world. Mind has time. The mind has space. It creates the world. You know, the both time and space are wrong scientifically. There is a Planck's constant. At the level of 10 to 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 35 length, and time 5.4 into 10 to the power of minus 44 second, you know what happens? There is no time, there is no space. At one particular stage, there is no time and no space. Then how can that time and space be real? You tell me. This is what we have to progress. So what is the progress? Karma Yoga. What is Karma Yoga? From Ekarupa Ishvara, from the gods what you have created, move to Vishwarupa Ishvara. Move to Ishwarupa Ishvara. This is synaptic plasticity. Keeps on changing. I have told you about it. And then here, there are different parts of the brain which give you emotion. For example, nucleus accumbens gives you pleasure, amygdala gives you fear, and there are other which add emotion and attachment to our life and makes connected to the life and makes Jiva Srishti real, and we don't want to leave it because our intelligence has not expanded deep enough to separate light from the hand. Remember, incident I told you, separate light from the hand. It's not impossible. It is intellectually possible. And now look at that. What is karma? Karma, anything where you have already recordings in your brain and you work along the dictates of your brain is karma. Karma, your karma, they say. It means what? Your connections are like that. They are genetically predisposed for it. Behind that, there is vrittis in the mind. They are causing that. And now when we live in the world of Jiva Srishti, what happens? We have created Ekarupa Ishvara. Ekarupa, all gods, what we see, are all Ekarupa. Remember, never tell they are wrong. They purify our mind. It's correct. They are right. Same Ganapati, what you are doing now. It is declaring, it is telling, you take me, you honor me, you worship me, you entertain me, and later on fifth day, you dissolve me in the water. Like that, you should know whatever that is born is going to die for sure. It cannot stay forever because it is created by a machine. It's all machine generated things what we see. So we are stuck to Ekarupa Ishvara. From Ekarupa Ishvara, we have to move to Vishwarupa Ishvara. In Vishwarupa Ishvara, every individual is a God. Therefore, we say Namaste. Namaste means my consciousness and your consciousness are one and the same. And when we assume the role of Ishwarupa, Anekarupa Ishvara, then comes the Dharma. We will never act against any other person. The Dharma we follow. And this Dharma is the one where we work for the welfare of the God of the Lord in the Vishwarupa Ishvara. This is Karma Yoga. So, to carry home, if Karma Yoga means consider you are part of the universal body and work towards it, that becomes Karma Yoga. Then your connections will change. Then you move higher up. From Karma Yoga, we have to move again to our original destination which we began. What is that? Self, consciousness, Satchidananda, Satyam Dhanam Anantam Brahma, Anoraniyan Mahatomayan. We will reach that in a later stage. First, our thing is to change our connections, and that connections have to be changed. Hope you have got an idea about this. Now, I request you to ask me questions. You are most welcome. I will be there to answer them.
I do have a question.
Lillian, what is the procedure?
Yes.
ask-
So we could just raise our hands and then we'll request one person to speak at a time so that we avoid any chaos.
Will you please help me by passing on the questions to me so that I can answer?
Certainly, certainly.
Can I enjoy a little privilege? I'm not able to raise my hand from where I am, like, in the
Certainly,
attending from
Captain
phone.
Mahajan.
So if I could ask my first question, with your permission.
Certainly,
Please.
Captain Mahajan.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Sreenathan ji. That was very, very enlightening and so very well explained in simple words, simple language, simple which everybody can understand. All of us couldn't, at least even a guy like me could understand it. Otherwise, when you talk about other things like subtle body and gross body and etc., sometimes those things fly over the head unless you have had a good uh, education about it. So coming to my question, the question is like we say, okay, we agree that this is all Maya, but that is what we have been attached to from the childhood. If we did not take, or if we were not shown any other path, all that we did was we got attached to this Maya. Like my father, my mother, my children, they are something that I've known, and they are the ones whom I've been able to talk to. I remember their voice, I remember their touch, I remember their love. So how do I finally detach myself from this Maya, or how long, how do I train myself to get away from this and to understand that this is Maya? I mean, I'll need training, right? It is one thing to know it. It's just like a diabetes patient knows that it is not good for him to have sugar, right? But he still has sugar because he's so attached to it. It's like we know that it is, we should get detached from Maya, but we don't know how to do it. So, is there some procedure that can be mentioned? And my second part of the question is, is it ever too late to start? Like, if you have not done it for 70 years of my life, is it too late to start now? Or I should have started right at the beginning of my life or at early stages so that I could attain what I'm trying to attain, that is, and separate myself from Maya. Thank you for your answer.
Thank you, Dr. Maharajji, for your encouragement and good words. And it's very simple. How do we say look at the world? We look at the world through our eyes. Please do one thing. For some time in the day, don't look at the world using the eyes. Start looking at your eyes. Start looking at your eyes. Just see some round globe of the eye. Who is looking at it? Who is looking at it? You question yourself. Who is looking at it? I am looking at it. Who am I? I know I. I am not very sure who am I, but I know I. I am different from the body. I know because I say I have body ache. My body aches. My body means I am not body. My mind is not good today means I am not mind. So then what is this? Therefore, learn to witness. Learn to witness. Witnessing begins by observing the eye to start with. Observe the eye. Let it be a habit. When it becomes a habit of observing the eye, and then slowly, we can own OWN. We have to own the consciousness as the subject, as the self, as I. It's not easy, I know, I understand, but it's worth the trying, worth the trying. And at no stage my bhaktas are going to be deceived or going to be deprived of anything. Even if you have learnt a little, that's enough. I will take it from there later. He says, Krishna assures. Therefore, now start observing. For example, night you don't get sleep at 2 o'clock in the night. Almost all of them, they have got this problem. And when they wake up, when they are not getting sleep, look at that, those thoughts, vikshepa. They thought coming one after the other in succession, and we succumb to them. Instead of that, start observing them. It's like a dog running after you. Once a dog was running after a boy. A boy was running its a monkey was running after a boy. Then Swami Vivekananda shouted, "Hey, stop! Face the brute." He stopped. Monkey stopped. So the best thing is to stop the mind. We have to observe the mind. When we start observing the mind, what thoughts are coming automatically come. And for that, they say the best is give a mantra to mind. You repeat, keep repeating. And when you cannot repeat, I observe you. Be careful. This is a way where we can train our own mind. This is a way forward. This is a difficult way, though appears simple to tell, but that's the only way possible. And there was another question. What is that, Mahajanji?
The second part was like, when is it too late to start?
Oh, absolutely not. Please, please, yes, absolutely. It is never too late to mend. It is always at the right time you come into this opportunity. This will call you when you are ripe. That will come to your doorstep when you deserve it. It has come to your doorstep because you deserve it today. It has come to you with open hand and it comes to you. That is what is assured by Sri Krishna. That is what it says. It comes. Never think. And whenever we think, is it right? Is it never? Never it is late. It's always the opportunity. And it may come any moment. And suddenly, in a flash, we may understand the subject. We may delve into it. We may become subject and forget the world as a dream. Wake up from the dream. Tasmat uttishta jagrata. Uttishtata jagrata. Prapyavarana nibodhata. Thurasya dara nishita gruhatya. Durgam patastat kabayo vadanti. It's a little difficult, but don't worry. Get up. Wake up from the dream. Wake up from the lower reality. You will see. That is the clarion call of Sanatana Dharma. Any other questions, please?
Yes, Dr. Prema
Thank you very
Sundararajan
much.
question.
Thank you,
Yep.
Dr. Sreenathan ji. Yes. I think you made it so simple, as Mahajanji said. But this is just the beginning. So Advaita, Dvaita, Visishta Advaita philosophy, in that when you see that, when you said you went with the Ishvara Tattva, then you start doing only service. That is Kaingaryam. Because you have already entered into the Ishvara Tattva and Karma Yoga. That's beautifully explained. And you gave some examples from Rig Veda, which clearly shows that we need more webinars where we have all those evidences. And you also gave from Chinmaya some of the examples. There are no questions, because it is, you have just instigated, you have just made ignited that. So we need lot more webinars where we can understand more. Yes, vairagya, virakti, and how do I detach myself, we may read, but it applies, and we have to start applying. As you said, whichever age you think about it, and just think, somebody is scolding. I used to tell the children, think that, nobody is scolding you. How can that be possible? They have hurt me so badly. So as a psychologist, I would say that, all about this, parasympathesis and neuroplasticity, come out of it, don't get that pain. But it is not easy unless and until we have the Ishvara Tattva and consciousness. So Sachidananda, it is beautifully explained. Thank you so much, but we need more and more in this. Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you.
Hello, doctor. Tell me.
Does anyone else have a question?
He is a doctor.
Yes,
Here is
yes.
Yamuna is there, He wants
Yes,
to talk.
Yeah.
Yes, good.
I am Dr. Raman. The webinar site on my wife's name, Yamuna. Dr. Srinath is my professor, actually, and have been trained under him from the 1972 from Ballari Medical College. I have grown up and then I became a doctor. Then later on, I wanted to know Bhagavad Gita, which I was unable to know. I concentrated in my life, which I was unable to understand Bhagavad Gita at all. So I was crying in myself with inside. how can I approach? I am living in the United States, and how can I try to grasp the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita? That was my intention. So unexpectedly and fortunately, I met. He came to my office one day and knocking the door and telling which I could not identify him. So he said, but I am so and so. I said, I am so and so. I'm okay, introduced respectively. And then he asked me, where did you study? Then I studied that is Ballari Medical College. And he said, I am from Ballari Medical College. How can then he narrated. Then he started. My mind, the plasticity of mind has expanded, and I'm able to recognize him, Dr. Sreenath. So I can recognize the doctor. I think the plasticity of the mind can be explained here in these words. How I recognized him as the plasticity that was restored, the memory that was stored during the time 1972. Recently, 2014, I met him again. Afterwards, I didn't. That was the time. Then I was lucky enough to. Then I told him, I am the student of this college. He said I was the lecturer there. And then I recollected. My mind went back to retrospectively and recognized. Then all that he was so young, and then as now we changed ourselves. Later on, he introduced his wife, and then we went to the house, and then we discussed about Bhagavad Gita, and he was asking what way, where I was doing pujas and all, and then at what level you reached. That was the question. I never know what was the level of my prayers and all these things towards God's spiritual line at all. Nothing. What level he asked me what was the level, at what level you are there. Then that question I could not understand what level I was there at in spiritual path. So anyhow, he explained one by one, gradually, the Bhagavad Gita. And he now what I feel is he has connected this microcosmic and the macrocosmic. The microcosmic is the individual level, and the macrocosmic is the cosmic body. That was this discussions today. He has connected to the microcosmic to the cosmic body, from cosmic body to the Purusha Sukta. Purusha Suktam is equal to this part of cosmic body. So I am very happy to just appreciate the how fortunate I am to see all of you in this webinar and see with my professor and the real guru in my life, Dr. Sreenathan. Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for sharing such kind words. And I'm sure all of you enjoyed today's webinar. It was really inspiring and encouraging and motivating. And there's so much more that we can learn about. So we soon have another webinar. Please log on to our website at www.ihu-usa.org. You'll be able to see the webinar details over there. And if you do fill out the form and share your contact details, I'll be pleased to send out the details of today's webinar, any notes that you require. And if you have any questions for Dr. Sreenathan, you can also send that to me, or fill it out in the form, and we'll be happy to answer your questions. And we have a lot of other inspiring, renowned faculty who are coming up with amazing webinars, so please join us. We have webinars every week and bi-monthly as well. So I'd love to see all your wonderful faces in our next webinars too. And thank you so much, Dr. Sreenathan, for today. We really appreciate it. Even though short notice, you came up and gave us a wonderful webinar. And thank you everyone for joining. Namaste.
Dr. Chandrakant, thank you.
I'll request 1 second, please, before we all disperse.
Yes, Captain.
We talk about lots of things in theory, like we discuss the theory of everything that is available in this world, and there are some examples which are in practical also in practice. And I want to applaud Gillian Barber today for conducting this webinar in spite of her health issues that she was supposed to be in hospital right now. And since we all are traveling or we are not in place, she came back for this purpose only. So that shows, I mean, that's what we need in dedication. So it will not just help that we listen to the theories, we listen to the stories, we listen and we become very knowledgeable of everything. This is a clear example of things theory into practice. So big round of applause for Gillian Barber. Great job, Gillian. We are really proud of you and we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, all of you. I'm obliged to all of you. Thank you. You came in good number and encouraged us. Please encourage our International Hindu University and Girwani Amma. Thank you. I
you.
saw you.
Thank you. Thank you.
There are many from Chinmaya Mission who are logged in. So I thank all of them. I saw Dr. Ramesh. Okay, thank you, all of them, those who have attended. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Namaste.
Hari Om.